Bet on Bears fans, another edition of the Chicago Bears podcast coming your way. We are here on Friday, which means Jason McKie is in the building. Got a lot to get into on today's episode as J-Mac Bears taking on Shedeur Sanders, Myles Garrett, and the Cleveland Browns, and what may be your third coldest game that you have ever participated in. We've got to have that conversation. Also, take a look at this team overall, previewing this game. What do they need to improve on from that previous game versus the Green Bay Packers? All that and more in today's episode of the Chicago Bears podcast. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Today's episode, as always, brought to you by Underdog. Make picks, win money. J-Mac, what's going on, my guy?
What's going on, my man? Trying to stay warm, trying to get my mind right. You know what I mean? Done hit up Amazon a bunch of times. Hand warmers, heated socks, heated gloves, heated vests, heated mindset.
You can wear a little bit more now as a media member than you could as a player to try and keep warm out there in this game. You can have a little coat on and all of that.
I'm telling you, last week I was so bundled up as well. It was hard for me to put the mic up to talk in it because I had so many layers on. So it's like after the game, like I had like a bicep like Arnold because I was like the stress and the tension from trying to hold the mic up from all those layers. Just shows you how old I'm getting. But man, yeah, it's gonna be an eventful day. You know, it's cold when you go on the Bears website and they have an article in terms of talking about the temperature and warnings and telling the fans they're gonna have warming stations throughout the stadium. Yeah, talking about they're gonna be serving chili, hot chocolate, chicken broth, and all kind of. They're letting you bring in extra blankets, and they're letting you bring in, you know, like I said, the heated battery operated gloves and socks and all that stuff. It's gonna be crazy, man. I might push Joniak out of the booth and go up there and watch the game from there, man. Make his ass get out there in that cold.
Hey, J-Mac, what are your thoughts on the sideline? Jeff, I'm right next to you.
I'm sitting right next to you. I'm sitting right next to you, Charlie. I call him Charlie Brown. I'm sitting next to you, Charlie Brown.
Listen, you played in 2 of the 10. The Bears posted the top 10 coldest games in Soldier Field history. You played in 2 of them. You played in the game negative 10 degrees. Somehow lost to Houston, a tough loss there at the end of the year with negative 7-degree wind chill.
Negative 7, bro.
The 10th game was a negative 2-degree game versus the Packers on December 22nd in 2008 as well. And it was negative 13-degree wind chill in that game. J-Mac, how does the cold affect you as a player? You're right. Like everybody says, you know, you bundle up, you prepare for it, you practice in it all week. But when it gets to that level of cold, how do you prepare for something like that mentally, and how does it affect you on the field?
Man, the funny thing is, it was so long ago, those games. You're talking about 04 and 08. Now I look back and I'm looking at those numbers, and we talked about all this before the pod, the coldest games I'm looking at. I'm like, man, how did I play in that? Looking back at it like, man, how did I play in that? You know, a kid from Florida grew up playing in, you know, the sun, hot, humid temperatures, and then to go from that to playing in what you just described. You know what? It's really just a mindset. Like, it's going to be cold. I don't care what you do. You can come up with a magic potion in terms of warm skin and Vaseline to rub on your arms and rub on your body, rub on your legs to try to help somewhat insulate you. Back then we didn't, you know, we had a thing amongst our team. You weren't allowed to wear sleeves. So as bad as you wanted to, and trust me, I wanted to, we weren't allowed to do it. We weren't allowed to do it. So, you know, you go out there and warm ups, and you try not to, you bundle up in warm ups, but you try not to put too much stuff on to try to get your body acclimated to that freezing, frigid temperatures. But it just comes down to it's being a mindset. You're going to be cold. Your fingers are going to be cold. Your toes are going to be cold. I remember the worst thing that could happen, right? Yeah, you're going to get hit, and those hits hurt. But the worst thing is when you're in the huddle and a lineman, you know, steps back or steps forward and steps on your toe in that cold weather, man. You talk about pain, like, man. Pain. And there's tricks you can do. Like, you can put doctor's gloves inside your football gloves.
Rubber gloves underneath.
But it's still going to be cold, man. And I know a lot of guys like to huddle up by the heaters and stuff like that. But as soon as you get away from the heaters and run back on the field, you're going to be even colder. So it's a mindset. You know, they're used to playing in that coming from Cleveland. We're used to playing in that being here in Chicago in the Midwest as well. And it's just going to come down to who's going to make the most plays and not let the weather dictate the outcome of this game.
Is that, have you seen that happen? Have you experienced that where the weather kind of dictated the play that was on the field and you saw a team kind of, I guess give up at a certain point? Because that's what I wonder about when I see this, right? Is it we fighting too many elements at once here, and the cold overtakes a team.
Yeah, when we played the Atlanta Falcons, I want to say it was 07 maybe. Michael Vick came to town to Sunday Night Football, and this is probably in the top. It didn't make top 10, but it's definitely the top 15. It was freezing, and I remember them showing Michael Vick on the jumbotron on the screen up there, and he's on the sideline with a big old overcoat with a ski mask, and he's just sitting like this. And I'm like, oh yeah, he quit. And Lax, and I remember Urlacher, we call him Lax, like, yeah, he quit. He quit. Yeah. And the defense was tattooing him. I mean, they was tattooing him. I mean, Lack put a hit on him. I mean, in that cold, you know, Lack hits hard, but in that cold, it's even worse. And they pretty much quit. We blew the doors off of them. But you can see that Atlanta Falcons team used to playing in the Dome, coming up here on a Sunday night, freezing temperatures at Soldier Field. They were like, man, forget this. We getting back to A-Town.
Hey, listen, so, I don't blame them. You know, like, listen, those games are, I remember working construction, and it's not the same thing, but just being out there, when you can't turn away from the wind, that's the worst feeling in the world. And I had all of it. Milwaukee heated jacket. I had the balaclava that you throw on. We had the insulated boots and all of that stuff. But bro, when you're like, okay, it's cold this way, I'm gonna turn this way. Why is there wind over here too?
Right.
I can't turn my back to the wind. That's when that's what I think that it affects the mentality and the want to there a little bit more. Looking at this game. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say you know it's cold, right? When that wind chill talks to you. When it blows, you can hear it talking. It's like, woo, woo. You're like, who's that talking? But you feel the cold. And the wind's like, woo. Hey, that's when you know it's cold, Pat.
Is a ghost in here? Is that a ghost? You gotta watch.
No, ain't a ghost. It's that hawk. That's what it is.
That hawk. No, listen. I think that the weather is going to play a factor in this game. I mean, this will be by far. It'll be the coldest game Caleb has played in it as well. But at least there's kind of a build up to it. This will be by far the coldest game that Shedeur Sanders has ever played in. And I think that when you experience something for the first time, it's a lot harder for you to get used to, and that'll give the Bears an opportunity to try and get a leg up in this game early. To me, J-Mac, like, I look at this game as a classic, old school Chicago Bears style football game. You go in there, you play some really good defense, you run this football well, and you can come out of here with a strong game plan that can lead you to, I'm going to be honest with you, a big victory. I know a lot of people are kind of like, you can't take any team lightly. It's the NFL, and everybody can play on any given day. But J-Mac, you knew when you were better than the team standing across from you. The Chicago Bears are better than the team standing across from them.
Yeah, record-wise, you can look at it, and yes, you can say that record-wise. But here's the thing, like, and you've seen, there's so many examples of this. There's so many examples this year. It's each and every game is just the matchups, right? You got to look at the matchups, and that team can click any given Sunday. That team who may not have a record like you have. And that's what I see from the Cleveland Browns. A team, yes, they lost to the Titans last week, but you look at that game, there's some guys that played some really good football. They got a lot of young talent. They got a lot of old talent. They got a lot of talent that's producing. They got great defensive talent, which makes them top 3 in the league. I think they're number 2, actually. Number 1 pass defense.
Like in the NFL, 100%.
Yeah, it's like so many things, right? And you talk about matchups, and we're talking about, despite the temperatures, this is Chicago Bears team that we saw last week against the Packers. You didn't start fast. And you can talk about everything that went on, but you pretty much lost that game, right? We talk about that last play by Caleb, but you really lost that game because you really didn't show up the first half of the game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it
Bo
shows that
throw was a killer.
Yeah, and that right before the half as well. And you know you're a good team when you have all of those things, right? The Bo Melton throw, you make that mistake, you're giving up that big play before the half. You didn't really do anything offensively or defensively the first half, and you still had a chance at the end of the game to come back and tie that game and possibly win that game with a 2-point conversion alluded to, as Coach Johnson said, he would have went for 2 in that situation. So that just shows you're a good team. Yeah. But here's the thing, like, and we know this, Pat, if you want to be a playoff team, if you want to be one of the elite teams in this league, you got to play 4 quarters of football. It doesn't have to be 4 quarters of amazing football, but it's got to be 4 quarters of competent football to where, yes, I'm going to give myself a chance to win this game in the first quarter. I'm going to give myself a chance to win this game in the second quarter. I'm going to make the adjustments at halftime to give myself a chance to dominate the third and fourth quarter. That's a legitimate football team, and that's what we didn't see from the Bears last week, and that's what really made them lose their game. So say all that to say this. Despite what Cleveland's record is, despite where they're at and the dysfunction they've had, in terms of the organization, you've got to come out and play 4 quarters of competent football. You can't let the cold weather slow you down to get you all to a slow start. You got to start fast. You have to. It's a must-win game, and you got to notch these wins because we don't know what the magic number is to get in the playoffs. Coach Johnson said he thinks it's 11. We don't know what that is. It could be 11, but you need number 10 right here.
Yeah, that's what I love about excuse me. That's what I love about having been as the head coach. Like it's not. They asked him about the 11-win goal, and he didn't say, that's a goal. We're trying to get there, and so you got to get every win that you can. He said, we desperately need this win. I think that puts the proper emphasis on just about every game the rest of the way. When you have the opportunity to control your own destiny, that's something that I think it's a benefit that most teams don't get. A lot of these teams that are in the wild card, like the Rams are probably the best football team in the NFC.
Yeah.
And right now, the Rams can't control their own destiny as far as winning the NFC because the Chicago Bears, if they continue to win games and be ahead of the Rams, they win the rest of the way out. So they need the Bears to lose. So, I love the fact that you're in a position right now where you can control where you finish, how you finish, what ends up happening. And I like that Ben Johnson's not shying away from that he's not ignoring how important this game is for the future of you possibly making the playoffs. And I think I'll ask you this, J-Mac, because you being on the field, you've experienced this, coming off of a loss when you're one of those playoff teams. Is there, especially a loss to the Packers, is there a little bit of we're still pissed off and y'all about to feel all of that when you go into that next week to that next team? Because that's kind of what I'm expecting here this week. I know a lot of people are saying it's going to be a close game. It's a great defense. I think the Bears are a better football team, and I think this is a pissed off Bears team because you were this close to beating your rivals in the first matchup, or at least having the opportunity, I should say, to beating your rivals in the first matchup, if not for a bad first half and an underthrown football.
Yeah, for sure. There's anytime you lose a game, right? And this one, even more so because it's against your rival and you had a chance to keep, maintain that first place lead in your division. It definitely pisses you off as a player. One, it pisses you off because you lose a game, right? And then that week of preparation, not that it wasn't, an elite in terms of preparation, not like it was, details or overlooked.
It was still high level.
Exactly. So when you come off a loss, everything is magnified. Everything you stepped wrong here. You punched with the wrong hand. You're not at the proper depth. Yeah. You're not at 6 yards. You're at 6.5 or 6 1/4. Everything is magnified when you lose. Now, a lot of when you win, not that things are swept under the rug. They go through everything thoroughly, but it's not as magnified as opposed to when it
didn't hurt us.
Right, because we win the game, so it's okay, now we got to get on. Mostly, we're going to put that game, we win that game, we got to get to the next game. This, when you lose, especially to your rival, you're going to break down every single thing and really find out why you lost, and then you got to try to make that transition to the next team. Yeah. But you're still pissed off because you know what you did. You had an opportunity to get a win, to stay on, to put more distance in your division in terms of getting that win and maintaining that first place lead that you had. So yeah, I expect this team to be pissed off. I expect that a hard week in terms of preparation. I know they had a walkthrough day in there as well, but mentally it was definitely a hard week. You know, it was definitely a lot put in terms of film. I know the coaches, they used to give us tests. I'm pretty sure they still do that now. A lot of tests to make sure that everybody understands every detail of the game plan on all three phases going into this one against the Browns.
Do you feel like those are the weeks that the team either got closer, like those were the make or break weeks, right? Like
Yeah.
I would assume, and you know, you tell me if I'm wrong here, that those are the weeks where you say, all right, we got to lock in. And all of a sudden there's the camaraderie is there. Everything is kind of a little bit more, I have to rely on you because they going harder on us. Like it's I feel like it's a make or break point in the season for this Bears team about what kind of team they could be. Are you going to be a playoff team? Are you going to be a dangerous playoff team? Or do you kind of just say, hey, we're kind of, we are who we are right now. We can't overcome what we have.
Nah, everybody knows what's at stake, right? Yeah. Coach Johnson's talked about it. It's still a 1-0 mentality, one game at a time. But you got to get that one, right? Yeah. You can't be in that 0-1. You got to be in that 1-0 side. So what's at stake, and you're going to put in extra film work, extra time. Like, not that you weren't doing it, but it's just you're going to put in more. You're going to do more, right? When you lose, you got to do more. You got to do more to overcome that loss. You got to do more to make sure that you get this win. It's a must win. I don't care what Cleveland's record is. It's a must win. You got to get the 10, right? You got to get the 10.
And I think that's the reason, right? Like we always talk about the big games as must win, right? Philly was a must win game
every week.
The Steelers was a must win game, right? Because it was proving that you could beat the best of the best, right? You do that, you feel good about it. People were talking about Green Bay as a must win. I was like, you're gonna probably split with them. I'd love to take both, but you're probably gonna split with them. But be confident about it. And you saw how the Bears were able to come out and play in that second half. To me, this is a must win because, like, again, J-Mac, like, I know it's any given Sunday, but you truly are the better football team. They are the second best defense, but their run defense is nowhere near as good as their pass defense because Myles Garrett is trying to kill people on the pass. Let's hope that we don't have that happen this week. You're the best run team in football. Like, you literally just went up against the best or the sixth best run defense or fifth best run defense, whatever it is, in football, and you ran the ball extremely well at the end of that game. Like, I think a fast start, focusing on the run game in this game, like, that's what makes this a must win, because it's the first game of the season where you truly feel like you are the team that should walk in here and be able to say, not only are we at home, but the weather speaks to an advantage that we have that they don't. Shedeur, like I said, Shedur's never played in this. That's going to affect him some.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it is. And I'm sure, I mean, they're getting, like, it's different practice and playing in the game. They're getting similar weather over there at Cleveland. So I know they're practicing outside, trying to do the best they can to acclimate those guys to what it's going to be like on Sunday.
Yeah.
And so it is what it is. Just looking at the matchups, and
it's 30 degrees right now in Cleveland. Nah, they finna be cold.
Yeah, it's gonna be cold regardless. But just looking at, you have to really look at the matchups in this game, and from a defensive standpoint in terms of the Browns, you know what they got up front. And we keep talking about Myles Garrett.
Problems.
It's not just Myles; it's Malik Collins.
Graham.
It's really good. Like, Mason Graham's got a solid defensive front, and that's why their pass defense is number one in the league, because we hear coaches talk about rush and cover. Well, this is a team, their rush actually matches their coverage, right?
Yeah.
Their rush generates a lot of opportunities, a lot of PBUs, pass breakups, and a lot of different things on the back end for that secondary to be successful, because they're able to get pressure on the quarterback, but not only get pressure on the quarterback, they're able to sack the quarterback. So that's when you have a complete defense. And not to mention, you got linebackers that are really fast, really active, good tacklers, and Devin Bush and Carson Schweizinger are really good players. Yeah. Schweizinger's a rookie, and he leads the team
probably
in tackles.
A defensive rookie of the year.
Yeah, leads the team in tackles, but watching this film, like, he's instinctive. When he sees it, I mean, he hits it in terms of being in the right gap. He's a good tackler. He's gotten, I think, 2 interceptions as well. He got some takeaways along with Devin Bush, the same thing. So you talk about styles, you know what I mean, in matchups and stuff like that. Like, this is going to be a challenge for this Bears offense against another solid defense.
Yeah.
So it's not like, hey, Cleveland, what their record? 3-9.
3-9.
We're gonna win this game. No, you're gonna have to earn this. You're gonna have to earn this. And we've played a lot of, teams with not having a winning record, and we've had to gut it out. We had to make a big play, right? We had to have a comeback. So it's going to be a tough game, not just because of the weather, because Cleveland, despite their record, the matchup is going to be hard for the Bears.
Is this a game where you say, I know, right, the record is what it is, but almost that, hey, if you could beat this defense, you can beat anybody. Is this one of those like offensive, like if you could play 4 quarters of good offense versus this defense, almost a confidence boost to this offense that they need because they come alive. We get 2 great quarters every game. Just pick your quarters, right? Like it's either the first and the fourth. We'll get a second and a fourth in there. We'll get most of them on the fourth, which is good. But, you haven't seen 4 quarters of great football. I feel like this could be a game where you build a lot of confidence by saying, not only did we go out there and beat Myles Garrett, we put it on the second best defense in football. Like I almost view this as your test before you, or your pre-test before you go in versus the test that you hope to overcome, which is beating a playoff team in the Packers who you got next week.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Like this year, it's been cool because the Bears have faced so many elite defensive fronts and pass rushers, right? You didn't play all of them, right? Crosby, Parsons, Garrett, like the list goes on and on. Yeah. Watt, buddy from the Giants, what's his name?
Burns.
Burns, yeah.
Burns,
I mean, the list goes on, which is cool. Exactly.
Bro, this is cool. A baptism by fire for Ozzy. This got to be the one of the wildest starts to your career ever. Watt, Parsons, Garrett.
Yep.
And he played Max Crosby in that game because that's when they benched Braxton.
Yep, and that's good because you have a Bears team that's playing a lot of elite defenses, right? And different styles, right? You got a defense this week that's quote unquote elite against the pass.
Yeah.
An area you've been struggling in, right? You've already played defenses that have been really good against the run, and you still ran the football. So it's awesome because each and every week, yes, the game plan is going to be different. That's how it's supposed to be based upon who you're playing, the personnel, and what their scheme entails you to draw up in terms of your game plan. But it's cool because you have so many different game plans against so many different types of defenses, right? You got a game plan that's, tailored towards a defense that relies on their front, that relies on pressure, that relies on stopping the run. You drawn up a game plan against a defense that their strength is their passing game and getting to the quarterback this week in the Cleveland Browns. So yes, it's like you're getting all these tests and you're going to face a team in the playoffs. And I'm saying win because the Bears are going to get there. You're going to play a team in the playoffs that's going to be elite like this. You're going to have the experience of not only winning close games, which I think is very important for this Bears team to have gone through this season because it's going to be close in the playoffs. You're going to be one of these phases are going to be required to make a play, but you're also you've gone up against so many different types of elite defenses this year.
This is an under-talked about storyline from this game, and maybe it's one that I'm buying into the conspiracy or the belief of it. But after what we saw last week in Tennessee at the end there, I don't know how you can believe anything else, at least in my opinion. Did you ever play for a coach that it seemed like he hated you, dog?
Ain't that crazy?
Bro, like I'm watching Shador final play, and I'm just like, is he in the game?
That's crazy.
They took him out of the game for a Wildcat play to Quinshon Judkins, which they have run Wildcat, but like it's a pass play across because the defense got blown. Like none of it made sense. I think that's a storyline too, where it's like there's this clear tension where we have to go with this guy because clearly he's better, but he don't seem like he's Stefanski's guy.
Yeah, you said Quinshon Judkins.
Well, I'm talking about Shador. I think that's the like it's just weird, bro. Like it's like, hey, do you like Shador moving forward? Nah, we'll go with the best option.
It is weird. It is weird. Like it is like you brought him there. Like y'all brought him there in the 6th round. So you know what I mean. Like at the end of the day, but to Shador's point is he's just been working.
Yeah,
and he made the most of an opportunity he had last week. Threw for over 300, threw for 3 touchdowns, ran for 1. Like that's a guy who hasn't played a lot of football. A guy who's had to sit there in meetings, soak in the playbook, get mental reps, run the scout team, got his opportunity, and balled out. They lost, but he balled. He played well. And when you have a guy who's already filled with a lot of confidence, like we know Shador is, and you go out there and you go out there and you put on display that, yes, I can play in this league. I can make plays. That's going to help that confidence grow even more. So I say that to say this: if you allow Shador to come in here and build that confidence, and to start slinging that football around the football field, and Cleveland gives him time to do so, he's going to make plays. And we've seen that before. We saw a rookie come in here, Jackson Dart, was throwing that football all over the Bears because he had time, right? The confidence continued to grow, and the Bears only stopped him because he got knocked out of the game.
Yeah.
So I mean, it is weird though to have a coaching staff with Shador. It's just in a weird situation. But all he can do is as a young player is do what he's been doing, do what he's done, continue to work, make the most of the opportunity they give you, and despite how they feel about you, which is weird, we're saying that about a team that drafted you in the 6th round. But you just go out there and make plays. So it is a weird situation. I don't know.
Bro, I sat there and looked at the end of that game and I said, that's the best play you had. Like you just couldn't let him. They was like, it's no way we let him win this football game. Like we not doing that. Not in my Cleveland.
Right. It's weird, man.
When you look at again the weather of this game and how this game is going to play out, I think it's going to be a lot that this team is going to have to overcome to get a win. For me, J-Mac, the physicality of this game has to be even more than what you've seen the last couple of weeks. Second half versus the Packers, that entire game versus Philly. I think this is a game that proves who this Chicago Bears team truly is. And I get it. It's versus a Cleveland Browns team that has struggled to win. But like when you can mentally get through games like this, I feel like it puts you on a different plane, especially when, right, I don't believe next week versus the Packers is predicted to be nearly as cold. You then go out to San Fran to finish out the season. And quiet as it's kept, it is kind of an advantage to get Jared Goff in January Chicago weather because outside he is not the same guy. I feel like this is one of those moments for the Bears to really take over. Let's get to our underdog play here real quick since we were talking about Shador. We got a nice little play put together on this. Higher for Caleb Williams, 1.5 passing touchdowns. That's what Courtney Cronin went with. DJ Moore, I upped it, J-Mac. You can get 2.05 times on the DJ Moore completions there if you put it at 4.5. And I said I think DJ Moore gets the ball a lot this week, so I went higher on that. We got from Yurko, a Quinshon Judkins anytime touchdown. Maybe a little more wildcat action because you can't let Shador Sanders play too well. What are you feeling this week, J-Mac? What do you like for your underdog play?
Yeah, I'm going Shador over. I think 159 or higher than 159.5 passing yards. Cold day. And I'm not saying he's going to go out there and go over 300. He threw for 364 last week.
Yeah, that's in Tennessee.
Not 4, 364 and 3 touchdowns last week. So,
that was in Cleveland last week, wasn't it?
Yeah. He did that. He did that. Shador did that with all the hate, even if it was come from the coach. He said, "Coach, take this touchdown, coach. Take another touchdown, coach. Oh, you still over there hating, coach? Take this touchdown and let's come here on the sideline and talk about it. Let me run one in as well." So I say that to say this, right? Yeah, it's going to be, the wind chill. We talked about it, -20, -30. Who cares? It's all the same. It's going to be cold. Colder than the polar bear's toenails. But at the end of the day, I think he's still going to be able to go out there and put together, the run game. I love Quinshon Judkins. They're going to lean on him a lot, and I think that's going to open up the passing game. And I look at it like this: when you have some of the weapons that he has out there on the perimeter, Jerry Jeudy, really good route runner, really good against man coverage at getting separation. Also, Harold Fanning Jr. at tight end, another rookie. Yeah. He's tied for the team lead in targets with Jerry Jeudy. He leads the team in receiving yards. Dude's a beast. They put him. He's more of like an H-back, so they move him all around their formationally. They match him up against linebackers, against nickels, slots, and stuff like that. So, with Dennis Allen running a lot of man coverage, I think we'll see more zone this week, but he's still going to have man because that's who he is. I expect those two guys in man coverage. Cleveland will find a way for those guys to eat, and Shador leans on them guys just like he did last week. So, yeah, I can see him getting, higher than 159.5 because of the matchups.
Let's hope we're able to create some pressure this week. That's it. You let him sit back there, man. You saw what he did versus Tennessee. We've seen as well with this Bears defense the explosive plays that have been allowed that you've got to clean up. I mean, honestly, I don't know what LaFleur saw last week, but you see every single one of those touchdowns that the Packers were able to put up was a 3-by-1. It was in a 3-by-1 set.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you what he saw. When you go. The one to Watson, hell, it's man coverage. You got C.J. Gardner-Johnson on Christian Watson in the slot.
Yeah.
Right? He's playing man. He's playing press man, but he doesn't get hands on him. Yeah. Free access inside, runs a slant route. Good night. Let me tuck you in. Lambeau leap, bratwurst and cheese heads. Like, damn. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a good play. And then the one thing that I love about this coaching staff, right? And I can say this because there are some coaches that won't take accountability of their own mistakes.
Yeah.
Time and time again, we've seen Ben Johnson come up to that podium, even last week, and say, I've got to make some better play calls.
Yeah.
I got to do a better job of getting our guys in position to make plays. You see Dennis Allen come to the podium, Pat, and say, that's my fault, right? Yes, it is, because schematically, you put your defense in a less advantageous position, right? Christian Watson on C.J. Gardner-Johnson in man coverage in that situation, touchdown. You know what I mean? Don't do it. You can't do it. And he talked about it. He lived up to it. So, yeah, I respect that. But at the end of the day, Dennis Allen, I think has his defense given up a lot of yards? Yes. Have we given up a lot of big plays in pass game? Yes. Have we gave up a lot of explosive runs? Yes. But what have we done?
A lot of takeaways.
We got a lot of takeaways. We got a lot of takeaways, though, Pat. And you're gonna need some of those this Sunday.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I need Al Harris to get his streak back going. He's been underselling us a little bit on these last couple of weeks.
And the funny thing is, like last week, he's 3. He comes to me 3. We getting 3 today, right? We do our thing. We talk. He tells me how many he's getting. Even last week, he said 3. I was like, I don't know. I don't know, coach.
Then you see CJ get the one early.
Yeah, I was like, woo. And he's the biggest cheerleader running down the sideline, jumping and sticking the chest out. And then we didn't get no more. I'm like, man, but this week I'm going to tell him, hey, Coach Harris, how many you got today? He tells me 4. I'm going to be like, Coach.
Hey,
for real, man.
They might be able to get some. I mean, they're really good at taking the football away. Shadur's had a pick in all but one game. So,
I can see getting 3.
He'll put that football in harm's way. And the biggest thing is, J-Mac, that we got to see is capitalizing on that this week. Yeah. Hopefully we see the Bears be able to do some of that this week. Hey, download the app today. Sign up with the promo code CBP to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code CBP. Underdog, make picks, win money. EOQ, the disclaimer. Must be 18 years or older, 19 or older in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 or older in Colorado for some games, 21 or over in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
I love that my husband's so handy. He leaves more money for the important stuff. Whoa. Gosh darn it, Steve.
Oh. Don't be like Steve. Call Avondale Roofing. DIY is for Pinterest, not your roof.
Welcome back in the Chicago Bears podcast. Pat the designer, Jason McKie. Hey, we want to let you guys know today's episode also brought to you by Advantage Dealer Group. Find your next Chevy, Toyota, or Acura and drive off in under 60 minutes, or they'll make your first car payment. Also brought to you by the Hard Rock Casino in Northern Indiana. Las Vegas style gaming, just 30 minutes from Soldier Field, right off exit 6, I-80 94. All right, J-Mac, we've talked about this game. We talked about the weather, talked about Shador. We got to talk about the elephant in the room, and I'm sure that's going to be a part of. Hold up, got to have the right part. McKeys to the game. J-Mac, I know you got a Myles Garrett McKeys to the game in there. What are the McKeys to the game this week, my guy?
Look. Honestly, we know about Myles Garrett. 20 sacks. He's done it in a variety of ways. I mean, he's been double teamed. He's been triple teamed. They've slid the protection to him. They tried to chip him with a running back. They tried to chip and nudge him with a tight end, and he still gets home because of his bag of pass rushing tools. Very sharp, right? And I mean, it's in his relentless pursuit of the quarterback is awesome. Like, dude's just so athletic, man. And then when he gets around that edge, when you watch on film to see him close down the distance from where he is and where the quarterback is, bro, it's really like a lion getting a gazelle. Like it's crazy, man. Like you see the quarterback, you're like, no, and you know he don't stand a chance. Like, and it's just, I mean, it's awesome to see.
They have a slow-mo on NFL films, and I don't remember who he was going against, but he tosses him aside. And it's just Myles Garrett. Like, you see his eyes lock in on the quarterback, and then he just starts running towards it.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
I mean, but it's every way. Like I've seen him just, I mean, he lines up so wide too. Like, if he's in a 5, right, a 5-10 outside shade of that tackle, he lines up in a wide 5, bro. Like, he's like 2 or 3 yards extra wide to where he's almost in like a wide 9, but there's no tight end there. You know what I mean? So he's turned in, he's cocked in, and he's just full speed ahead. And with that wicked first step, and then his arsenal, I mean, he has an in and out move. Like, I mean, like he's crossing you over. Like, he's sick with it. It's fun to watch. Like, I watched all 20 of those sacks, and I was like, man, what would I do to game plan against Myles Garrett? And what I came up with is pray. Pray. That's the game plan, Pat. That's my McKeys to the game. Pray that Myles Garrett does not get home, please. Dear Lord, I come before you. Hey, Lord. I pray that you give us the strength, the passion, the technique, and the mindset, and the internal clock, and Caleb Williams to get the ball out quick so Myles Garrett does not have a field day, Lord. And we come before you, and we put all this in your name, Lord. Amen.
Amen.
That's the McKeys to the game. And on top of that, it's just win. I don't care how you win. Run game, pass game, special team, defense, win. That's it. You got to win. There's no man. McKeys to the game is just win the game. Like, that's it. You got to win this game, period. That's the McKeys to the game. Just win.
Just win.
And pray.
So this week's McKeys are pray to the Lord that Myles Garrett don't get home and win.
That's it. I watched Myles Garrett. I watched all 20 of his sacks.
He's that good, bro.
I said, let me see how I would game plan. Like, what type of pass protection or what type of game plan would I come up with to just slow down this pass rush, right? And it's like, you can put all your attention on Myles Garrett, but Malik Collins is like that too.
No problem.
He's got an interior spin move that's ridiculous that he's been killing people with. He's got 6.5 sacks, but yes, the focus has got to be on Myles. And I'm just looking like, I've seen all the game plans. I watched every sack. They've done everything to him, and he still gets home. So that's what I said. You got to pray. Pray that you have enough time to get that ball out.
At 30 years old, he has 122.5 sacks. I mean, he is an absolute monster. He has been a pinnacle of health throughout his career. Like, he's so dangerous, J-Mac. Like, I know people always want to say he's one of the best pass rushers in football that we've ever seen. I take it a step further. J-Mac, I think he's one of the best players in football that we have ever seen. I think you got to put him in those LT conversations. I think he is, maybe he's above them, but he's in those Aaron Donald conversations. And you don't get as much love when you don't win as much. The Browns have sucked. I mean, you want to talk about something funny? I saw they went through all the Browns quarterbacks all the way back to 2000, and I was like, I never thought somebody could rival us. Like, that's really bad. Like, I think they had one quarterback with a winning record, and I think it was Flacco. But
that's crazy, bro.
But he's such an impressive specimen on the field, and I'm gonna be honest with you, dog. Like, there is nothing you can do to stop him. Trent Williams said, I never want to play him again.
Yeah, you thought I'm not even being funny. Like, I'm trying, like, you got to pray. Like, what are you going to do? Ask and you shall receive. So I'm asking, I'm praying. But here's the thing, like, even when you talk about the greatness of Myles Garrett. So, was it last week or maybe before the Philly game? I was watching NFL Live or NFL Countdown, the one that Michael Strahan's on, whichever show Strahan's on. They were talking about Myles Garrett. And Strahan even said, he's like, look, I'm going to tell you this, guys. He said, Myles Garrett, straight as Strahan said, and I'm sure there's a clip, we can find it, so you don't think I'm making this up. Strahan said that he's better than me. He said he's better than Bruce Smith. He even said that he was better than Reggie White, bro.
Yeah.
That's what Michael Strahan said. Not me. It's the clips out there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like the dude is just, his athleticism, it's unfair. The tools he has in the bag, it's unfair, right? The bull rush that he has and the technique and the way he utilizes that speed, the bull rush and his leverage and hand placement and just everything, it's unfair.
Yeah.
So that's why I say you really have to pray that your quarterback has an internal clock that he knows I got a certain amount of time. Yeah. I got to get rid of this football and then move him around too.
This is one I don't want to see the sack avoidance. You know what I mean? Get rid of that ball. Yeah. Like I don't want to see you try to dance and get out of it. Just get rid of that football, baby. Yeah, you know I need Caleb moving that ball quickly out of his hand.
Like it's a catch-22 because I'm excited to see him play.
Yeah.
But I just wish it wasn't against the Bears. You know what I'm saying? Which was like against the Packers. Like, go ahead and just destroy Jordan Love. Go ahead and give him some of that Myles Garrett love.
The Packers too, honestly. What did he get? I think he got a sack on Love in there versus the Packers. If I'm not mistaken.
Last week he only had. Did he have a sack last week against the Titans? I don't think he had one sack.
Last week versus the Titans, he had. Give me a second. Yeah, he had one sack versus the Titans. He had one sack versus San Francisco. 3 versus Vegas, 4 versus Baltimore, 1 versus the Jets, 5 versus New England.
See, that's not good because when you got to see
Bay, half a sack versus Green Bay.
And what I want you to look at real fast, if you can, like how many sacks has he had coming off of a 1 sack game? Because he's probably pissed he got 1 sack. Oh hell, I got 1 sack. I got to get 4 this game. You know what I'm saying?
So he had a half sack versus Green Bay. Then he didn't get a sack in the next 3 games. And then he went on a tear. He got 1 versus Miami, 5, 1 versus New Jersey, 4, 3.
See what I mean?
1 versus
see the pattern?
He wakes up.
Hey, you see the pattern?
Yeah.
Hey,
Pat. Prayer hands. What the prayer hands? Hey, Lord.
However you pray, Pat. However you pray, Pat.
Let Myles have something else going on Sunday if you could. You know what I mean?
However you pray. You pray like this, or you pray like this. However you do it, pray.
J-Mac trying to get all the guys out here to help us out here.
You see the pattern. That's why I asked. You see the pattern.
He's and I think the funny thing about him and where the Bears may have some difficulty is right. He's not a Micah Parsons. He's not a I would say Max Crosby is probably a little more similar to him, but he's not a TJ Watt, a guy where you go, you know how you beat him, you run the football at him. No, he's elite in the run too. He's also an elite run stopper. So like there's not much you can do. What was in Friday when he said, "You want some of this too, old man?" Nope.
Yeah, that's my sack. That's my sack, punk.
You leave Myles Garrett alone. Listen, I'm looking ahead. Hopefully, we come out of this with the win. I think that this is a game that the Chicago Bears get a win in, J-Mac. But what do they need to improve on most from that Packers game that you saw to pull away with the win versus this tough defense?
Man, everything. You got to keep continuing to ascend as a team in all facets of your game in all 3 phases, right? And basically, when I say that, it's mainly talking about the fundamentals because football is really 3 things. It's blocking, it's catching, and it's tackling, right? We've done a decent job of blocking.
Yep.
Right? We haven't always done such a great job of catching in the passing game. And not only that, making the right read. So it's everybody collectively. So I ain't putting just on a receiver. And we saw last week, we did a horrible job of tackling. So fundamentally, collectively,
bro, that Josh Jacobs play.
We got to continue to ascend in all of those things, right? We got to be better in all of those things fundamentally.
That's the one where like I'm looking at Jalen a little sideways. It's like you right there, bro. Just hit him.
Yeah.
Now there was 3 other guys there that also could have hit him.
It's everybody, man. And Jalen is the type of guy who's gonna call a spade a spade. He's gonna nobody's gonna be harder on nobody's going to be harder on the player's always going to be harder on himself than the media or weekend.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like the great players, they know. Like Jalen's seen that clip. He knows he's got to play better. He knows he's got to make that tackle. Come out and say it.
Yeah, listen, it wasn't a great day for Jalen. It wasn't a great day for CJ GJ. Although numbers would say it was a great day. A lot of those touchdowns directed at him. Like that's one of those situations where I think it is, not to say you want to lose to the Packers ever, but I think we're going to see what a really, really focused Bears team looks like. And not to say they weren't focused before, but just like, hey, we got to lock into a different level. I actually think this is going to be a very fun game for Bears fans. Maybe not fans that are in the building and, J-Mac who's on the sideline.
Unfortunately, this week.
We'll turn the heat on in the studio for you, J-Mac.
Yeah, think about it. Pray for me, too. Pray for me that I don't just walk out and text Danny Zetterman, hey, man, I quit, man. Forget that.
Hey, man, don't catch an Eric Bieniemy rush from like Eric Bieniemy ended up catching from Myles Garrett on the sideline, bro. It may kill you, bro.
Hey, you might catch a J-Mac pulling Antonio Brown, just run into the locker room, throw the mic. I ain't gonna take my shirt off because it's too cold, and I'm old. I ain't gonna take my shirt off because I'm old now, but I might take that microphone and just throw it in the air and run out the field and get the crowd, to get the fans cheering and tell Danny, hey, Danny Z, I quit. It's -20, I quit.
It might be a little bit different. Everybody in that situation was like, hey, where's Antonio going? What's going on with Antonio? Right. There's gonna be a bunch of Bears fans going, is that J-Mac?
Yeah.
Is that Jason McKie? What the heck?
Right. Right. Where is he going?
Where's he going? It's so cold.
So it's gonna be a cold one, but it's gonna be warm. The Bears gonna be hot. The Bears get this win.
Yeah, listen, if you're gonna be cold, you might as well win.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's the mindset. If you're gonna be cold, you might as well win the game. Hey, man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in to Show Love. As always, hit that like button, subscribe to the page. Leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Let us know how you guys feel in the comments below. Is this a Bears win when we get at the end of this game? Do the Bears go 10-4? 10-4 sounds crazy.
That's awesome, man.
Bro.
Compared to where we were last year this time, oh, my goodness. Hey, I tell you, we were talking about the draft. Like,
bro, we were getting questions on should the Bears lose the rest of the game?
Yeah.
Like, it was literally like, hey, is it over? Like, should the Bears just give up? Like, what?
Last year, I was doing the podcast like this. Like,
J-Mac, what are the answers? You don't know the answer.
Like, I don't care. I don't even want to talk about this team.
We were in the Thomas Brown era by now, though.
Yeah.
We were getting some Thomas Brown out there. Thomas
Brown's in New England, right?
Is he in New England or is he with the Rams?
I thought he was with New England.
He might be in New England. You might be right on that. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Bet down. Well, me and J-Mac just doing a regular show now. Peace.